Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to our July 2021 Coffee Talk. We're hosting LPF Chairman Steven Nekhaila as he lays out his vision for the Libertarian Party of Florida going forward and how he can and the state party can support our local affiliates. I'd like to welcome everybody. By the way, if you are not yet muted, please go ahead and do so until the Q&A portion when we go away from speaker view to the gallery view for the Q&A. If you would go ahead and do that, I'll try and get it as well once Steven starts speaking. I'd like to welcome Steven Nekhaila to the Pinellas County Libertarians.
Thank you for having me here, Brett. I'm happy to be here. And I just wanted to say hello to Pinellas County. I think I was up that way a little while ago. You guys are Region 8, so I think it was last year around September, November. You guys have a few new affiliates. Really strong region. Always had some great stuff come out of Pinellas. You guys are one of those rock star affiliates. So anyway, I can support you guys, help you guys on your journey and your mission. I'm being more obliged. So thanks again for having me here.
Thank you.
So yeah, I just want to talk a little bit today about the party, our direction, where we've been, where we're going, and sort of what is the vision moving forward. So in the past, I think we've been in a sort of build the airplane while we're flying phase, which is not uncommon for Libertarian Party affiliates in general. Brett and I have sat together on the Libertarian National Committee, so we know what it's like to be at the top level. And Brett's actually the chairman of Pinellas County, so now he's moved to Florida. Congratulations, Brett, you and your beautiful wife. So welcome to the Sunshine State. And,
thank you.
And I want to talk about a little bit about what's the game plan moving forward. So the LPF in the past, we have people that are in the party that have been around for some cases many years to many decades, that provide a wealth of knowledge, resources, and understanding of how things have been. We've always focused on sort of the affiliate building side, this and that, all the other things, but the main key has been that's been missing has been the institutional knowledge aspect, bringing those things forward, making those medium and long-term goals so that we're really moving in a congruent direction all at the same time. So what I did is I put together, I think this was back in 2019 when I became chair, is a vision deck for 2020 and now for 2021. So basically what I did is I put together some ideas with my team and my committee chairs, my executive committee members, to figure out what do we need to do moving forward. So right now, my biggest focus out of all the focuses are on fundraising, candidate support, and affiliate support. So let's start with fundraising. Why fundraising? If we don't ask for money, if we don't make the money and get the funds, we can't grow as an organization. That's like building blocks. So going out there, getting that seed money, making money, that's been the most important thing moving forward. At convention, we raised a record-breaking $10,000 just at convention, not including ticket sales or anything like that, but just fundraising during the convention. We auctioned off a bottle of Kentucky bourbon for $500, which was donated to us by our now chairman, Ken Molman, at the National Committee. It was pretty awesome because we beat California, was the second highest. They raised $420 at the same bottle, so I know we had to beat them. So I'm super proud to say we outraised them there. We raised another $9,500 or so, right around the $10,000 mark, which was phenomenal. Celicia Slapter, our fundraising chair, did a great job of raising those funds, and we're also focusing on recurring donations. So our goal is $2,500 a month recurring donations. So that's predictable money we could bring to the party in order to grow our different projects, grow our committees, etc., and get us to where we need to be. So in order to do all the fun stuff that we want to be able to do, we have to put in the groundwork and get that money rolling in. So if anybody here is listening to this and they're not currently a dues paying member to Florida, I highly recommend you to donate at least $10, $15, $25. $25 is kind of our recommended donation per month to the party. Also donate to your affiliate, because another $25 a month or even $10 a month or whatever you can afford goes a long way with local affiliate matters. So definitely donate to your local affiliate first, then donate to the state. It all goes to a good place. So our goal is $2,500 a month by the end of the year. Also planning on hiring a fundraising director to the state party. So it'll be the first time in a long time that we've actually had a dedicated fundraising specialist. All they do is raise funds, send out thank you letters, build relationships with donors, organize their data, and all that awesome stuff that we need to do that goes beyond what volunteers are typically capable or willing to do. So that's going to be a paid position we're bringing forward. We're going to be discussing the next EC meeting this month. So that's super exciting. Next thing is candidates. So we wouldn't be the LPF if we wouldn't be getting candidates elected. So in Florida, we have some of the best ballot access laws in the country. In other states, guys, they have to get hundreds of thousands of signatures in some cases in order just to be a political party. In many cases, they have to get tens of thousands of signatures just to get on the ballot as a libertarian in a state level election. So that could be pretty much anything. Or even getting a local level election that requires you to be a partisan to be a libertarian is exceedingly difficult. In Tennessee, for instance, they put through some legislation by the Libertarian Party of Tennessee that tried to get ballot access there. It passed in the committee. However, the committee chair, when presenting it to the House, said it didn't pass. Nobody spoke up against it. And then in speaking to the House in Tennessee, one of their representatives said that voters would be confused if there were other parties on the ballot. Where have we heard that before? So that's just a common narrative that the old parties like to use to keep us off the ballot, thinking that voters are too dumb or whatever it is to understand that there's other choices out there. It's obviously what they do to protect their party status. Same thing happened in Texas. They tried suing us off the ballot. You know, they were not successful. Democrats sued the Greens off the ballot. I mean, there's all kinds of moves they try to make in order to try to keep us marginalized. In Georgia, we're actually suing them in federal court, the Secretary of State, and LP Georgia is winning. And so we are going to try to overturn a 50-year-old law that's never been able to be reached. We have to get a certain percentage of petitions from a certain from the district you're running, and it's based on, I think, 5% of the gubernatorial votes cast in the previous election. So it's big, big, big numbers, very expensive. Not a single third party has ever been able to reach these thresholds since it's been enacted. So we're trying to overturn that. It looks like it's going to be successful. In Florida, we're so lucky because we have constitutional ballot access. So if me, Brett, and one other person decided to create a new political party tomorrow, we could do it, and one of us could run for president. That's all it takes. Just a couple people, some paperwork. It's never been a problem in Florida. We don't confuse the voters. It doesn't, you know, cause any undue taxpayer burdens. None of those narratives that the old parties try to use to try to justify their protectionism has actually been a problem in Florida. It's just not the way that it works. So we have open and clear ballot access. It's fair. The LP is considered a minor party here in Florida. It takes 5% of the votes to get to a major party status. There's some benefits there, but for the most part, we are treated equally as the other two parties. So that's great. So I say that to say this. We have great opportunities to win local elections here in Florida. Our main focus is actually nonpartisan, and there's a reason for that. While it's important to get some libertarians on big L races to get the word out there, to get the branding out there, to say, hey, I'm a libertarian, because you can't say that on nonpartisan elections. So it's important to have a few elections where we just have our Hail Marys and we go out there, talk about the LP, and evangelize a little bit to voters. Nonpartisan races are our bread and butter. That's where we win elections. That is where we have our elected representatives like Martha Bueno, down in Miami-Dade, like Jim Turney, county councilman in Altamont Springs. We have the mayor of Newberry. We've got, you know, city councilmen all over the state. So we've got dozens of elected representatives, and that's gone up over the years. So we're hoping to hit that hockey stick sort of curve of elected representatives that would make Al Gore blush. So the idea is we can support you guys in Pinellas, support other affiliates throughout the state, and sort of harness our power directed towards getting elected libertarians in office. And guess what, guys? We did a study. 51% of non-partisan municipal elections nationwide, we win. We win more than half the time. A majority of the time, libertarians win elections that they are put in. When it comes to all races, we win 1 in 5 to 20%. And I guarantee you that the states that use services like eCanvasser, which is a CRM services that partake in national programs for learning how to campaign. The most prepared campaigns do markedly better than those that don't. So a little bit of preparedness goes a long way. Our odds are actually pretty darn good when we're ready and we're prepared. So it's really good. You know, when it comes to when we get past ballot access for Florida, it's not a problem. The floodgates are wide open, so we just need to take advantage of that and move forward. So that's really where we're focused on, and of course, affiliate support. So the more money we make, the more services we can offer to the affiliates and have that kind of trickle down effect. So getting you guys data, getting you guys, you know, whatever you guys need to start up. The most important thing I think right now is we want to get all the affiliates affiliated, right? So there's counties all across the state. There's libertarians everywhere. There's 40,000 plus libertarians in the state of Florida that are registered Big L Libertarian. Most of them we probably never met, but they're out there because they went through the process of finding a libertarian on their SOE paperwork and their file, their libertarian. We want to activate those members. We want to get them involved in local affiliates. We want to help them create local affiliates. That's how I became a part of the LP. I had a phone call. A buddy of mine, Mike Kane, down in Key West, he called me when I was in college. This was like 9 years ago. Said, "Hey man, we want to create a local affiliate here in Monroe County. Are you down?" I said, "Sure, man. I'll call you when I'm down there." It was like 9 months later. I hit him up. We created the LP Florida Keys, and long story short, now I'm super involved with everything, and he got me in. So if we can do that to me, we can do the same to others and get them involved in the party and have them be a part of our team. So there's opportunities abound. We just have to get out there, right? The path is already set. We just have to put in the work. So these are just things we can do to get our plan completed of getting all affiliates affiliated, of having tons of candidates run and win local office, of making money for the party. And then the next thing too, that's really exciting, is actually legislative action. So the Legislative Action Committee was just put into place a couple days ago. On Wednesday, we just have a new LAC come in. We've got professional lobbyists that have been lobbyists for decades on that committee. We've got connections with lobbying groups like Gun Owners of America that want to do lobbying days in Tallahassee. We've got people in Jacksonville, Tallahassee, North Florida that are geographically close to Tallahassee that are going to be there talking to our elected representatives, getting them on our side, pushing legislation, influencing what's going on in Tallahassee. So that's one of the important ways that the Libertarian Party can actually influence politics, is just by being vocal. You know, we're so vocal online, we're so vocal within our own circles, but being vocal with the right people can make a big difference. And Julia would agree from Pensacola that their affiliate up there is actually so vocal with their city council that some city council members are concerned that the Libertarian Party has too much influence in their city, which is kind of amazing. And I've seen it firsthand in my own community too, that when we get out there and we speak out, our ideas are so powerful and so convincing that we do change hearts and minds without even letting people know we're Libertarian. Our ideas are amazing, and we should let people know we're Libertarian, but our ideas are so influential that they make a difference because they make sense. We're very logical, we're very grounded in reality, and that's what makes libertarianism such a strong ideology, because it's reality based. And so when we get out there and influence city council and city hall, it makes a difference. So that's just one of the ways that we can make a difference right now, even without getting libertarians elected. So that's really exciting. That's something I want to explore more of in the future, is actually getting our affiliates more active in their city councils and city halls, because I think it's a vector of change that we may be underutilizing that could be very effective. Other than that, one of the things that we're going to be doing a little differently moving forward is the first Sunday of the month at 7:30 on the LPF meeting line, we are going to have a general membership call with all the executive committee of the LPF and anybody who wishes to attend. So Brett, yourself, your members here, I'd love to hear from all of you. We used to do just regional representatives only, then it was region reps and affiliate leaders, but now I wanted to really, we're going to advertise this one too, is all members are welcome. And the reason why it's so important to me is because as an EC, sometimes we tend to just hear amongst ourselves, and if only upper management speaks with upper management, we only hear from the lieutenants and not the people on the ground doing the work, then we're going to have a disconnect. We're not going to know what's most important to you guys right now. So So bring your voice with you, be on the calls, talk, let us know what you'd like to see more from your state party. Let us know what kind of support you need, and also let us know what you guys are working on, so we can kind of help shape our goals and everything moving forward, first Sunday of the month. And other than that, I would say, we're just chugging along. We're focusing on our data, building our CRM, putting our coffers together. This is the most money we've had in several years. We're at about $41,000 in the bank account, which now we can afford to be a little bit more liberal with our spending and start to put that money to action for you guys, and have that money trickle down. And so, we're doing everything we can. Oh, this is the first time the executive committee has a full slate. So there's not a single spot open. There's no vacancies on the executive committee. We've got a full team, and it's pretty exciting. So I'm looking forward to it. There's some amazing stuff happening. And our next step too is our joint membership plan with the national party to get dues paying members from national and the state. So if anybody here is not a national dues paying member, donate $25, become a new dues paying member. We're going to need about 200 new national dues paying members to keep our delegate slots for national. So we were at 54 back in 2018. Now we're at like 49, assuming that we don't get any more members before, I think it's October 31st. So if we can.
It looks like Steven paused there for a second. We'll wait for him to catch back up, and looks like we lost you there for a second with the Wi-Fi, Steven.
Yep, sorry, since my internet connection's unstable, I apologize. I've got third world internet down here in Key West, so anytime so much as the wind blows, it usually goes down. But I was just saying, if anybody here is not a national dues paying member, I think Brett and I can all speak as previous and current LNC board members. Pay $25 or more, become a dues paying member. I promise you, the money goes to the proper places. National does do a good job at making sure we have ballot access in all 50 states, making sure the CRM is up and running, making sure we're represented at the national level. There's some really, really cool stuff that we're working on at national. I can talk a bit more about that, but we just hired a Larissa Goggin, our new media director. We've never had a media director before, so everybody always complains about our social media strategy. It's because we never had one. So we're finally investing in that. And same thing for the state party too. We're fine tuning our messaging and everything else, because without the messaging, people don't know what actions to take, where to go. So a part of any movement, especially a philosophical one like the Libertarian movement, we need to have our evangelicals in the right places and speak about the message and what we're about, so people can get involved in that capacity and start doing good work. We actually just had a Joe Jorgensen email go out. You guys might have seen it. If you set up for the Joe campaign, we just had a few email blasts from Joe talking about the state party. We had a couple volunteers sign up, a couple people donate, which is pretty cool from that. And we're using every vector we can to sort of move forward and get the message out. And one of the big things, my personal goal for me as chair for the next term, is I want to get out in media more, talk about our party. It was kind of cool because last year with COVID and lockdowns, I was able to get out on Telemundo, I think USA Today, CBS, Telegraph, Tom Woods Show, and there was a couple of others that I was able to get into, not by really seeking them out, but just by us being out there, the media came to us, or the opportunities arise. So by doing the activism, by doing the work, we get these free media opportunities, and that's something I want us to more directly target, because the more we can get in the media, the more we get that free outreach, the more we get out into the mainstream sphere and get to talk about what we're doing and get more recruits. So it all feeds into each other. So so there's tons of goals. If you guys want to look up the vision deck, I believe it is on, I want to say it's on docs.lpf.org. I'm going to make sure it gets there, but it's also on the Facebook page. I think it's pinned towards the top there. It might be in a few previous emails, but if you want a copy of the vision deck, just email me at chair@lpf. That out to you, because it details a little bit more in depth what we're trying to do in each committee. and something that we follow up every month on with our.
Looks like we lost him a little bit on the internet there. When he pops back up, we lost you a little bit there talking about the docs.
Okay, yeah. If the docs at lpf.org, I believe, has the vision deck. If not, email me at chair@lpf.org. I can give you a copy of that. Actually, we're on the second version of the vision deck because halfway through the year, before convention, we've already hit a lot of our goals. I actually had to update them with some new goals and change some things. So that was pretty cool. So we're full steam ahead on our vision deck, which is basically our business plan for the year. It's pretty cool. So you can follow along with that. We meet up once a month to sort of make sure we're in line with our goals. We're still congruent moving forward with them, and it's one of those important things that we're doing. So last thing too is if anybody's interested in volunteering for the state party, volunteer with Brett first. Talk to him if you've got time, because he needs it, I know. But if you have some extra time that you'd like to dedicate beyond Pinellas, reach out to me or fill out a form online and look at what our different committees do and sign up and help out, and we'll put you to work and put you towards something pretty cool that you can help out with at the state level. So that's what's going on. I don't know if anybody has any questions or if there's anything anybody wanted me to clarify a little bit more on. I'd be more than happy to answer those questions for you guys.
Steven, I want to thank you for coming today. It really is beneficial to hear beyond our local libertarians and our local libertarian leadership to see what's happening at the state and the national levels. And I think that you really did a great job of sharing that with us. I did want to let you know I could not find the deck on docs.lpf.org. I would have put the link in the chat, but I didn't see it there. But as soon as I do, I'll make sure that when this is posted to YouTube that we include it because it is mentioned. Does the state, now I have a question for you. Does the state party have a plan to utilize voter data? And this is a big focus for me because this is the first state where I've ever lived where we have access to party registration and we can identify the low-hanging fruit for the people who have registered LPF, and we're rolling out our engagement program for them. In fact, our next business meeting will have a significant portion dedicated to what that program looks like after our most recent leadership team meeting. But is there anything that the state party is doing with voter data to help identify the people who do self-identify as libertarians to make sure that we're able to spin up new affiliates where we don't have them and to activate people where we do have active affiliates to make sure that we bring them into the fold and take advantage of them having already self-identified as libertarian?
Yes, absolutely. We are using not only the state data, but also national data in our CRM to try to target libertarians. So as I mentioned before, there's 40,000 registered libertarians in Florida. Of those, roughly, I would say probably 2% are active in the state party or national party as far as becoming an LPF member or a national member. So we have data on, who our highest likelihood people are going to be. If there's a new area, let's say, and we want to affiliate that area, we're going to target those people that are either LPF members or national dues paying members first, because they've already made the extra steps to get involved on those levels. So they're most likely to want to be active, right? So that data is available in the CRM. All it would take for anybody to access that data, if you're an affiliate leader, if you're a campaign manager, if you're a candidate, whatever it is we have you sign an NDA form, non-disclosure agreement, and then we set you up with an account on there. There's training that's involved in order to how to use the Civic CRM, because it can mess things up if you don't know how to use a tool properly. So it's a powerful tool. And then you can use that data to go and reach out in your geographic area, who lives in that area that's a libertarian, who's an independent, blah, 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 blah. So all that data is really fantastic and useful, and that's the first place you want to use it. A cool anecdote is that the Broward County folks actually used the data, and they had a whole text campaign that they would call, and if you didn't answer, they would follow up with a text message or email you, and they had really good success for the Jo Jorgensen race, campaigning for her and her campaign. And they also use that tool for their own affiliate purposes too. So there's really good tools now to reach out to folks that wasn't available wasn't common 10 years ago, it really wasn't available 20 years ago. But now the stuff has gotten more advanced, and with our CRM, you can really take that scalpel and carve out your district or your area and say, this is the area I want to target. Give me the Libertarians. Okay, this is the best use of my data, my time, and target those individuals that are most likely to be down with your cause. So that information's out there. If you're interested, email membership@lpf.org, and we can get you hooked up with whatever you need to get hooked up with, and have it start working for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Stephen. We actually have all 4 members of the leadership team who've signed our NDAs, and we're looking forward to setting up our training with Tony to make sure that we're able to go. I understand right now his focus are the regional reps that were recently elected at the state convention, and that will fall in line some point after that. But yeah, I'm very excited. I know that you are as well. We were both working together on the LNC in Kansas City in 2017, where this CRM project was approved at the national level to roll out to share this data. And it's pretty exciting to be able to utilize it at the local level when it was something that you worked on and worked to make sure that it was a tool that we could use going forward.
It is awesome to see it finally come to fruition and it being used by our own members here in Florida. So so it worked out, and it keeps getting better over time. We put a lot of money into it. I know Ken and Andy travel to conventions just for Civic CRM. It's an open source tool, so there's literally people that spend their own time and money just trying to make it better. Because how cool, I mean, the internet's amazing. People actually go out of their way to make something free better for other people to use. It's awesome. It's very libertarian, and we put a lot of money into making sure that this project keeps growing and getting more useful. So as time goes on, the functionality will increase and get better and more useful over time. So that's the whole thing, right? I mean, 4 years ago it was a twinkle in David Nolan's eye, and now it's
right.
something we're actually utilizing. So yeah, it's pretty awesome to see.
It looks like Marcia has a question. I see that she's unmuted. Go ahead, Marcia.
Actually, it wasn't that a question. I was just willing to show my morning face again. Anyway, I'm really actually very excited to hear what you just said about the CRM, because it's just been this big question mark all my career here, and to know that it actually rolls out on a gradient, then that gives me hope, because that's so important to have all that data. So thank you, Stephen, and everyone who's helping make that happen.
Absolutely. One thing we try to do at the national level and the state level too, and if anybody has other suggestions, let us know. We can certainly incorporate that into our vision deck, is to find ways to raise the tide so that all boats rise, right? Because each affiliate, each state is on a different level on where they are in their journey and in their advancement. You have some states that are, further along in all different matters. We want to find ways to increase everybody, to make everybody better. So the CRM is certainly one of those things. And yeah, just trying to find ways to provide as much value as possible.
Yeah,
I have a feeling we're gonna be able to add to that, Stephen, with what we're working on. I've actually talked with Valerie Sarwark, chair of the Affiliate Support Committee, about the Registered Libertarian Engagement Program. We're looking at September being the first time that we host one of those events. And I'm working on documentation right now to share with her and with the state party and how this can be used by active affiliates, as well as adapted to spinning up a new affiliate in a county that doesn't have an active Libertarian Party. And my apologies, Marcia, I realized that I talked right over you, so I wanted to let you go ahead and go before we took another question.
Yeah, and now it's a matter of saying, you all know about my study party idea, which I've sort of had suppressed because of the COVID restrictions. But I'm going to be moving forward on that, and hopefully that will coincide with the CRM, so that then we can let people in various areas know there's going to be a study party in your area, blah, 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 and just get more people, especially as we get into people who are not registered, and try to get them to register. So just know that my program on that is going to be happening more and more. Okay. That's it.
Keep us up to date.
Camilo, Julia, any questions or comments to share while we have Mr. Nekhaila?
Camilo,
Oh, I'm just excited to see him. It's been a good meeting this morning. I've enjoyed listening.
I hope to see you at the next LPF convention.
Yeah, maybe I won't be sick or something this time. I had the flu last year, and this year my dog had an incident, and
Oh, no.
so hopefully next year.
Definitely. There'll always be more. And you guys are doing great up in the Panhandle, and I would hope that I could come up there again and meet you guys, because I'd like to go throughout the state and do some more in-person events with the different regions. Last time I drove up to Pensacola was during your 2018 convention. That was about a 15-hour drive. So
Oh, it looks like we got a little spotty. I see you, Marcia. Camilo was trying to talk just a second ago. Once we have Mr. Nekhaila back, Camilo, go ahead.
my back.
We just got you back, Stephen.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think Camilo had a question for you.
yeah, not so much a question, but I guess kind of offering my services. I think Brett and I, when we became officers back in January, we kind of learned along the way quite a bit about legitimizing, the affiliate and things like that. So for those affiliates that are still out there that need to take that step forward, if you need a resource or something like that, Brett and I would be happy, I'm sure, to help and make sure that those affiliates get situated and legally, right, with both the almighty state and the IRS, as we have done. So just kind of, Stephen, since you brought that up, I wanted to say that that's something that we have worked on, and it's been a challenge, but we've gotten through it so far.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I know Brett's been we conversated a little bit about some stuff with the IRS. I think I had to write a letter, a few things that they needed. You never know what they're going to ask for. Yes, you guys are an official Libertarian Party affiliate, and
Right.
all that fun stuff. So no, that's a great point, because I know some of our affiliates are incorporated, some are not.
Well, looks like Steven's internet once again is wreaking havoc with him. As soon as he comes back, Marcia, go ahead. Once we see some movement or hear some sound from Steven, go ahead with your question or comment.
Okay.
Steven,
Hey,
you're back.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm
All
sorry,
right,
guys.
so-
Ever since the storm, the internet's been really funny, and it was already really funny before that. So
Wow.
the internet, the grid down here was built in like the 50s, so, or and then in the 70s and 80s, when we had like dial up and everything else, everything is like super old. I mean, my neighbors probably affect my internet by having older routers. It's all just a mess. It's like I don't know. I might have to switch to Starlink or something whenever that comes available, because
Why don't why don't you move to Pinellas County?
you never know. Maybe one day I'll get out of the Keys and experience
Yeah.
something a little bit different.
Anyway, I'm fascinated by Lobby Day in Tallahassee. Now, is that once a year? How often are there lobby days?
Well, to be honest, we've never done a lobby day, but I was really inspired by LP Texas that did a professional lobby day. They all went to Austin, and all their members, I think they had like a couple dozen people there. At least I saw a good amount of members in their photo. Looked like at least 2 dozen. I'd love to do the same thing for Florida. And
Now, how often though does Lobby Day occur? Does it occur once a year or twice a year, or?
well, it's something that we would do. So we could certainly put that
No.
together. I think legislative session starts in March next year. somewhere around there.
But doesn't the legislature itself, don't they declare which day is lobbyist day?
I
That's
don't
what
know
I
if you
thought
need
happened.
a specific day. I think you can just set an appointment anytime you want with your elected officials. So the idea is that we would get our members together, bus everybody up, pay for a place to stay, do the whole nine. Perhaps with other groups too, like Gun Owners of America, to go lobby on specific subjects. So I was talking to Luis Valdez of GOA. I know gun rights are a big thing. You know, I know cannabis is a big thing here in Florida. Taxes, you know, whatever it is that we want our libertarians to go up there and talk about, we would bust everybody up. Everybody has different districts, so they have different representatives they could talk to, set up those appointments and say, hey, you know, this is what here's our unified goal on this issue, and talk to representatives about that and try to get them to sway their vote to a certain day. So a lot of people do that. You know, the insurance companies go up there once a year and they lobby their representatives. You know, all these different organizations do the same thing, try to get their agenda put forward. There's no reason why the Libertarians should have a spot at the table. And what's cool is now that we have some professional lobbyists, and we also have Michelle McCutcheon, our national membership activism director. We have resources to kind of help us to put together these events and make them successful. And with some money in the bank now, you know, one of the things we can purchase are, you know, gasoline, vans, buses, you know, whatever we need, you know, hotel, food and beverages to get our people to Tallahassee. You know, it's a big state. So there's ways we can really start to put legislative action at the forefront, where I think it's always been at the back burner. So that's sort of a lobby day idea, something that the party would put forward, maybe with other groups. I hope that we can do something next year on that regard. Maybe this year too.
Okay, that's great. Let's move forward on that. All right,
guys, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. We'll have a little bit of more casual, social, a few questions that you may have